I wish I had that book, but they haven't sent me one yet. See how useful those are, to have them plotted out like that. I mean, if you don't have a book like that, you're really already difficult. You need it. You need an interlinear in the sense that you can look up a Greek word occasionally. If you're really serious, I mean, if you just want to play games, well, you don't need anything. But if you really want to make a serious study of this throughout your life, and I think a lot of you probably do, I mean, this is the kind of thing you want to study when you leave school, just not just at school, and know about, and it enriches your life to work at. So get these books because you'll never, look, this book here. One of my students gave this to me when I first came to Cal State in 1974 or something. So I don't want this, Professor Eisenman, you can have it, it stinks, or something like that. I said, oh, okay. And I've used it ever since because it was a Greek interlinear, and I've done most of my work out of what this student threw at me, you know. So and I'll prize it because it's got all my notes and things in it. Pretty soon you take notes in it and things you've done one year, and you don't want to use any other, because once you start writing in it, you've got all your previous comments in it and underlinings and emendations, so it becomes a valuable possession. I've had it recovered even twice. So, and this book's falling apart, but I'm not going to change it because I'd have to, transfer all the comments to some other book. And the same for you. You don't want to change what you start working in either, because that's where all your ideas are, right? So get one. I see some of you don't have them. Don't skimp on important things. Only skimp on just don't go to dinner this weekend, and that'll be the price of at least maybe 1.5 books. Skip a Lakers game and you can buy 10 books, or the Angels or some loser team like that. All right, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Hey, come on, this is not a Palestinian text. This is already philosophical, isn't it? Very abstract philosophical text. Mainly we call this Neoplatonic. It's a Neoplatonic text. The Jews weren't writing Neoplatonic texts, I can assure you. They don't even think they know anything about Neoplatonism. Certainly Palestinian fishermen didn't know anything about Neoplatonism. So, I mean, I don't deny the beauty of John, but let's get real. We may not get a lot of historical information out of this. We may, and we may not. But I'm saying already it's written, what I would say, from overseas, right from the first word. And by a very sophisticated intellectual from overseas. I mean overseas, outside the borders of Palestine. Doesn't have to be Rome. I would consider probably Alexandria would be where I would look for in a Neoplatonic. You say, what's Neoplatonism? This is Neoplatonism. The logos, the word, it's the essence of Neoplatonic doctrine. And you say, well, in Greek it's logos. What does it mean? I'm not a Neoplatonist. You'd have to read all of Neoplatonic literature to understand what they mean. But Plato had the theory of the forms, the abstract theory of the forms, that they were in another universe, an ideal universe or something. And I think the logos, the word, is one of these important primordial forms in this other alternate universe, which is why it's called Neoplatonism, and so on and so forth. I wouldn't even want to begin to try to tell you, but this is Neoplatonic type of text. And the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And poetic, very poetic. It even reads nice in English. I'm sure it reads better in Greek. The same was in the beginning with God. So it's a duality, a dual universe, the Word and God together. So this logos of the Neoplatonists identified with the God of the Hebrew or something. All things were made by Him, and without Him there was not anything that had been made. That's very rhetorical, Greek rhetoric. What do they call it? Thesis, antithesis. All things were made by Him, and without Him there was not. So that's thesis and the antithesis. It might be some reciprocity too, but they call it thesis, antithesis. and in lyrical poetry. How did they call it? They called it, my brain, you see, it's gone. There was one line one way, then it would reverse itself and go back the other way, and then a third line called the epod, or epode, and Paul uses that all the time in his writing, which shows quite a high training in Greek rhetoric, not Hebrew rhetoric. Greek rhetoric, not really taught in Palestine, I don't think, to any extent. And in him was the life, and the life was light of man, and the light shineth in the darkness. Light, dark imagery, very important for Neoplatonism, very important in the Dead Sea Scrolls, very important in Zoroastrianism. There came a man sent from God whose name was John. Okay, an historical note. The same came for the witness, that he might bear witness of the light, that all might believe through him. He was not the light, but came that he might bear witness to the light. This is very poetic and very abstract. So Jesus now becomes identified with the light. John is the precursor of the light. This has been thought over very carefully by someone in a highly abstract manner, right? And also poetic. People love this prologue of John. I mean, there's nothing wrong with loving this prologue of John. I mean, it's a very impressive piece of work. But I mean, we have to understand what it is. It's not historical Palestinian. You want to know historical Palestinian, you can see light, darkness type documents in the community rule at Qumran. I don't have time to read you all that, but the community rule has this light, darkness imagery, and the light is the sons of light, the darkness are the sons of darkness. The war of light against the sons of darkness in the Dead Sea Scrolls. The sons of light are the people in the community. The sons of darkness are all the people who follow the devil and Belial and are evil, and they have to be obliterated from the earth. The sons of scrolls are not kind. These are not peaceful Essenes, which is why I object to the idea of, oh, the scrolls are people just contemplative. No, this is contemplative. The scrolls are not contemplative. The scrolls are militantly aggressive, apocalyptic documents. It doesn't mean they're bad or good. You say, why do you like them? Well, I just think that they're interesting. That's why I like them. Yeah.
The Essene Gospel.
Yeah, don't worry about it. That's just a forgery. Just a forgery. A modern contemporary forgery. But you can check it out if you want. But, it says, forget, some guy down in San Diego, I think, wrote that. Called Skilly, I forget what his name is. Or another guy. He came from Europe and he